Hi everyone, welcome to On Deck. My name is Ten, and I'm a third generation tarot reader, a writer, and a mentor with the Center for Creative Writing. We are currently working our way through the major arcana of the tarot and lining up the fool's journey of the major arcana with the narrative arc of our main character. So we've been doing this for a whole year now. If you have missed any of our previous episodes, head back to January and jump on with us and start working through your narrative arc and your development of your main character. This month for December, we have the Justice card. The Justice card represents Libra. This is a Libra card, and it is representative of the best, fairest solution for all. Okay, so it's not everyone getting exactly what they want or believe they deserve. It is more of a karmic justice. It's kind of weighing the whole of the, consequences, unintended or otherwise, and balancing out, right, the best possible solution for everybody, right? It does also remind me of the story of in the afterworld of balancing the heart with a feather to see, kind of like what, how pure the heart is, or how pure the soul is, that it's not weighed down with, unjust actions. Okay, so that could also be something that plays into how you're developing your character. In terms of your storyline, right, this is the opportunity that our main character comes up against to make the next best decision for everybody involved. So there's a situation, right, that your main character gets into, and they have to make a decision that ultimately, hopefully, would be for everyone's best good, right? And this is where it gets tricky with our main characters, because our main characters are human-ish, depending on what you're writing, and they have flaws, right? None of our characters are perfect, or else nobody would want to read them, right? So this is a great opportunity in your storyline to show whether or not your main character has developed, as a person, whether there's, your character has evolved, right? If they've learned something, or if this is going to be a lesson that needs to come back around before the end of the story, right? So we're still kind of in the middle of it. We have a whole nother 10 cards to go still, 11 cards to go still. So we're kind of right in the middle of it. So in terms of your story arc, this would be a good opportunity to show that your character has not yet evolved to where they need to be to prevail in their main conflict, right? So whatever their main goal is, their main conflict, their big bad boss that they have to defeat in the end, this is an opportunity to show that they have not yet grown enough or developed enough, or there's still things that they need to learn about themselves, about the world, about the journey that they're on. Okay, so let's find out a little bit more about what our main character needs to learn here. So what kind of challenge does he face? What does it reveal about him? How does he feel? I'm saying he, but just general, how did they feel about this situation? Do they let people down? Do they realize that they have, made a mistake? Or this could also be an opportunity to kind of show that they have grown, they just haven't grown enough, right? They're still kind of falling short of the mark. So let's see, there's one. Let's see what else we can get for this point in our main character's journey. Okay. All right, we've got the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is a card of slow and steady wins the race. This is being practical, being logical, being like, the way I like to describe the Knight of Pentacles is like an Excel spreadsheet type of person, or like a profit and loss, return on investment. Like they're analyzing the data, they're looking at the actual results, the what can be physically counted and gathered, right? So very practical, very long term. This is not like get rich quick, or like one little training montage and the main character is an expert swordsman, right? This is the long slog, right? Slow and steady wins the race. So in this situation with your character, there could be somebody here that's trying to train him, that's trying to help him, you know, kind of like I'm getting like a Karate Kid, you know, where the main character, he wants to go and learn karate, and Mr. Miyagi's just having him put in all this hard work, and then he realizes after he's done all his hard work that he was training him. That's kind of the feeling that I get from this card. So maybe there's a character in your story that is trying to help your main character through this, right? There's no shortcut to justice. You have to go the long way. You have to count all your beans. You have to practice every day. Like there's no shortcut. Even in, you know, stories where there's magic or downloads, right? Even if somehow the character gets the skill to do the thing, they don't have the knowledge to do the thing, right? They don't know when to use it, when to hold back, like that. Then we have the Two of Pentacles. Okay, the Two of Pentacles talks about balancing different, it can be two, like if it's a pentacle, so it's like balancing two different jobs. You know, being able to balance two different roles, being able to hold conflicting ideas and make them work. It could be like, sometimes this card means like the spinning plates and trying to keep all the plates spinning and not letting any of the plates fall, right? So we're just running around, you know, crazy, trying to keep all the plates spinning and not focusing on like long term, how that's gonna, like, you can't do that forever. So how do you, you know, make it so that you're in a position where you're not running around crazy trying to do all these things, okay? And then the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is a card of learning that you can be receptive to people, you can receive people, their emotions, you know, you can be like a counselor, somebody that somebody can talk to without taking on their emotions, right? So this is the card of, you know, being there for somebody, supporting somebody, emotionally available, but also knowing that you don't have to take on their feelings. You don't have to you can be there for somebody and not agree with what they're doing, or not want to go along with what they're doing, but still support them in the journey that they need to go on, okay? So here with the Justice card and our main character coming up against something that challenges their, sense of right and wrong. Okay. We have what it looks like is these two kind of, I don't want to say opposing characters, because they're facing in, you can see they're like facing into this main character. So we have this main character who is trying to do right, who is trying to learn, who's trying to do the skills that they need, and they're understanding this, or what they learn is that there is kind of a balance between putting your head down, working hard, checking all the boxes, the return on investment, and also not getting overly, like not letting the emotions derail them. They're allowed to have feelings. They're allowed to be stressed out about this. They're allowed to confide in somebody, but they can't drown in how they feel about this challenge. Like, it's not fair. It's not whatever. Life isn't fair. And this is an opportunity, right, with this justice card for your main character to test that boundary, to kind of come up against a wall and see how they climb over it. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for a wonderful year of On Deck. We're going to keep right on going in January with, our next phase. We're about to turn the corner and kind of see how the rest of our narrative arc plays out. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful holiday season, and I look forward to seeing you again in the new year.